An explorer recently shared a video like this. The footage was captured in the Amazon River basin in Brazil. Two strong men are carrying a massive and elongated giant fish. This superfish is one of the largest fish species in freshwater rivers. It is also a species unique to the waters of the South American Amazon. This giant fish is known by people as a living fossil. Originating in the Jurassic period, its history is as ancient as the dinosaurs. Meanwhile, in a park lake in Florida, North America, someone also discovered traces of them. However, what was found was a dead fish lying on the shore. Witnesses described the giant fish as being larger than their own daughter. It was nearly decomposed by the time it was discovered. Since finding it in a local lake was so incredibly rare, the media even conducted reports and investigations on it. And far away in a large lake in Sabah, Malaysia, another giant fish was found dead in the water. Even the mayor was shocked by this discovery. What is going on? Is this giant fish native to the Amazon already overrunning the globe? It is said that this fish also has countless links to the famous arowana. Some even call it the big cousin of the arowana. What secrets are hidden within this fish? In this episode, let's talk about this freshwater behemoth, the Arapaima. First, we must mention where this giant fish lives. Located in South America, the Amazon rainforest is the largest and most primitive tropical rainforest on Earth. It is home to countless mysterious, terrifying, and chilling plants and animals. The reason this rainforest, covering about 5 million square kilometers, is so full of life is primarily due to the Amazon River. This is the largest river in South America. It is winding, has many branches, and is intricately complex. And the various animals living in this river are even more mysterious and unpredictable. For example, piranhas, electric eels, bull sharks, and so on. Each of these names is legendary and strikes fear into the heart. But no matter how many tough characters there are, whether known or unknown, they all have to call the Arapaima Big Brother here. Why is that? Is it because it's the toughest? That's right, it is tough. But toughness is only one aspect. More importantly, its seniority is unmatched. Back when dinosaurs were still dominating the Earth, the Arapaima was already swimming in the waters. Studies of its fossils show that their existence can be traced back as far as 180 million years. 180 million years ago. There are truly very few animals left on Earth today that have survived from the Jurassic period and still retain their original appearance. Therefore, people affectionately call the Arapaima a living fossil. This is a sign of respect for them and the best interpretation of their history. The Arapaima belongs to the Osteoglossida family, within the order Osteoglossiformes and the genus Arapaima. Some also call it the elephant fish. Adult individuals can reach a body length of 2 to 6 meters. Their weight can reach 100 kilograms. The maximum recorded weight has even reached 200 kilograms. They are one of the largest freshwater fish species existing today. The reason it's one of is because there are others estimated to be even larger, such as the giant catfish. However, due to a lack of necessary scientific data, it is impossible to accurately determine which one is larger. In terms of appearance, this fellow is also very distinctive. Its long, streamlined shape looks just like a torpedo. The dorsal and anal fins are located near the tail. The silver-black scales covering its body are also very eye-catching. As adult individuals grow older, red spots will also appear. The number of these red spots reaches its peak during the breeding season. It looks very beautiful. The reason it is called a bony-tongued fish is because their tongues are hard. Furthermore, teeth even grow on these tongues. This is very unique and is one of the important characteristics of ancient fish. If it only relied on its beautiful looks, without having exceptional skills, it wouldn't be possible to survive on Earth for over 100 million years. Right? So, what are the extraordinary traits of the Arapaima? First, Their heads are entirely made of hard bone, looking like a piece of bronze ware. Then there are the scales on their bodies. These unique scales are arranged neatly and densely across the giant fish's body. These are no ordinary scales. The scales of an adult Arapaima are extremely hard. How hard exactly? Local indigenous people often use the removed scales as blades. Furthermore, even the piranhas with their sharp teeth living in the same waters can do nothing against these high-hardness scales. Someone once simulated the bite force of piranha teeth to conduct a puncture experiment on Arapaima scales. It was found that under the same conditions, the piranha's teeth couldn't pierce their scale armor at all. Covered in hard scale armor, would that cause inconvenience when they perform various bending and twisting movements? Regarding this, they figured out a strategy long ago. To adapt to stretching, multiple layers of collagen fibers grow beneath these scales. The hard scales on the surface can work in synergy with the collagen fibers. This ensures both flexibility and their own protection. Inspired by this, humans once tried to develop body armor with a similar structure. But all attempts failed because their structure and mechanism are too complex to be imitated. Not only are they heavily armored, but these guys also evolved a god-tier skill during their long growth process. In the Amazon River basin, due to the humid environment and heavy rainfall, river flooding in the rainforest is a frequent occurrence. At these times, the forest vegetation becomes submerged. Over time, due to the decaying vegetation in these flooded areas, conditions of hypoxia or low oxygen often occur in the water. This is not a good thing for the fish living here, especially for the Arapaima, which has lived here for over 100 million years. They must have experienced these situations many times. To solve the problem of breathing in low oxygen conditions, various fish species can only limit or reduce their activity to decrease oxygen consumption. Unlike other fish, in order to gain a greater advantage, the Arapaima evolved into a fish that can directly breathe the air above the water's surface. They modified their swim bladder into a functional organ similar to a mammal's lung. It can process air to obtain oxygen. Having this god-tier skill allows them to pursue prey at full speed even in low oxygen conditions. As carnivores, their diet is also very broad. Various small fish, snakes, turtles, frogs, and insects. Even small crocodiles can become their food. The Arapaima swims with grace and agility, resembling a swimming dragon. So in some places, they are also called giant dragons. So what kind of relationship does it have with the arowana that is popular in Asia? From the way its body and fins grow, except for the head, there are indeed some similarities. Actually, in a broad sense, they really are relatives. Arowanas also belong to the Osteoglosida family. Common arowanas include the gold arowana, silver arowana, and red arowana. Because they have barbels under their jaws, their overall appearance resembles the image of a dragon in traditional Asian culture. That is why they are so highly sought after. Big business bosses, in particular, love them. A platinum arowana was once auctioned for a staggering price of $300,000. It's quite exaggerated. Arowanas are much smaller than the Arapaima, but their temperament is just as fierce. Similarly, living in the Amazon River, the silver arowana will often leap out of the water to prey on insects on trees. The highest jumps can reach over 2 meters. Arowanas kept in aquariums will even swallow mice. They are extraordinarily aggressive. Not only are their temperaments similar, but their way of raising offspring is also the same. Someone once uploaded a video of the arowana's birth process. In the video, a female arowana struggles to lay dozens of eggs. Shortly after they were laid, the male arowana standing nearby impatiently swallowed them. Seeing this, many netizens began to vent their anger and curse. What an ungrateful and heartless fellow! He actually swallowed his unborn children right in front of his wife. That's so evil! But when the video reached the end, at the moment the arowana father spat out the small fish, the netizens were stunned once again. They kept posting 5-star reviews. This is a top-tier good father fish. A role model among fish dads. Thumbs up, thumbs up. This made the misunderstood Arapaima father quite embarrassed. What's the big deal? This is standard procedure for the Osteoglossida family. That's how they all raise their offspring. They have a clear division of labor. After the female fish lays the eggs, the male is responsible for incubating them in his mouth. This not only ensures the safety of the eggs, but also provides a good temperature and environment. It's just a lot of hard work for the father. The Arapaima's parenting method is the same. They use mouthbreeding to breed their offspring. The young they produce are not like other fish species that are abandoned to fend for themselves. On the contrary, the fish dad will keep these little Arapaimas by his side. This little group will wander around looking for food. From time to time, the whole school will surface to breathe. It looks very spectacular. Do not easily provoke Arapaimas during their breeding season, because at this time, in order to protect their young, they become even more fierce. In other places, there have been multiple reports of Arapaimas attacking humans. An adult struck by them could have their bones shattered and internal organs damaged. Perhaps many foodie friends can't help but ask, is this thing edible? How does it taste? I can tell you for certain right here. Yes, it is edible. As for how it tastes, you'll have to taste it for yourself to find out. In the Amazon, Arapaima is one of the main food sources for local indigenous people. Their protein content is very high. However, wanting to eat a meal of it is not an easy task. First, when fishing, it seems fish spears are useless because their armor cannot be penetrated. Many hunting methods involve knocking them unconscious with a wooden club when they surface to breathe. Alternatively, nets are used for fishing, but casting a net isn't easy either, as dragging it ashore takes a lot of effort. Additionally, after catching it, you must have the necessary tools to break the shell. Otherwise, this armor will block you. Since the local indigenous people have limited living conditions and lack necessary economic sources, this leads to the possibility of overfishing in the area. The direct consequence is a decrease in their population size, which is not conducive to long-term sustainable development. Not only that, but many explorers or fishing enthusiasts also come here drawn by its reputation, with the goal of catching a giant-sized Arapaima. In order to catch a glimpse of the giant fish's glory, they often brave wind and rain, fearless of hardships and dangers. But wanting to find a truly massive fish is sometimes not that easy. So for them, it really depends entirely on luck. To achieve sustainable development, while scientists are investigating and studying the Arapaima, they have also provided some reasonable suggestions. For example, in waters where large fish exist, designate certain areas to be managed by the local indigenous residents. Explorers or enthusiasts who come here to fish need to pay a certain fee, and they can easily achieve their life goals. This way, it can alleviate the income problems of residents in difficulty. Secondly, it ensures that enthusiasts who come from afar won't leave empty-handed. And most importantly, it can maintain the Arapaima population a win-win for everyone. Most giant fish transported abroad are mainly kept in aquariums as ornamental fish. But as some people raise them, they find that the aquarium can no longer accommodate them. Furthermore, these guys' appetites get bigger and bigger, finding them increasingly difficult to raise. Some people will secretly release them into lakes. However, fish that are secretly released often die because they cannot adapt. The giant fish that appeared in Sabah, Malaysia, is speculated to have come about this way. In some places, after obtaining authorization, large-scale farming has gradually begun. For instance, starting in 2008, Florida introduced the species for commercial-scale farming. The goal is to replace flounder and Chilean sea bass on the market because the giant fish seems to be cheaper. As for the giant fish that died in the lake, subsequent investigations found that someone had stolen fish from a farm. Fearing discovery, the thief threw it into the lake. If these giant fish are transported to other waters, and the conditions happen to be suitable, then they will very likely become an invasive species. You should know that underwater, they have almost no natural enemies. So, if you keep this kind of fish, please do not release it randomly. Otherwise, it could lead to unpredictable consequences.